Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This video is going to be very exciting because I'm going to tell you all about my absolute favorite makeup of 2022. The best makeup that I have tried this year. I have so many things here in front of me, a lot of things, different categories, and we're gonna get right into it because it is a lot. So I have to preface this video by saying I've had a little bit of a weird makeup year. At the start of the year I was really testing a lot of products, buying a lot of products. Then I went and started a full-time job for the first time in my life. I stopped studying, I started a job, and there were just a lot of changes in my life. And because of that I was very overwhelmed and I kind of stopped wearing makeup for a bit, and I kind of stopped buying makeup and trying makeup, and I just actually took a break. I took a break on this channel, I took a break from makeup, and now I'm getting back into it. And for the past few months I've been really getting back into the excitement. I just feel really inspired to try new looks, to wear makeup more, and I feel like I'm kind of catching up, but I haven't like really caught up to all the new makeup, all the things I want to try. And there are some things that I really wish I could have used more, and I've just been really going at it, just doing makeup every day, really trying to test everything, and I kind of feel like I couldn't have done more at this point. So this is just where we are at for this kind of weird year, and there are just some things where you have to take this video with a little grain of salt. Because this last year was so weird. There are just some products here that are my favorites, but I haven't. Okay, there is some sort of Christmas concert going on outside of my house right now. Can't really do anything about it, and I can't really wait for it to be over. We're gonna see if we're gonna have some background music. But what I was trying to tell you, usually with my favorites, there are things that I've used throughout the year, been really excited about throughout the year. Some of these products I used a lot at the start of the year, then kind of forgot about, and I'm just getting back into. So the whole thing, the whole idea of a favorite for me for this video is just a little bit different. I'm gonna say it with the products. I'm gonna tell you just when I get to these products, and when you have to take the favorite status with a little grain of salt. I want to be honest with you. I don't want to tell you that something is my ultimate favorite when I've only used it like 4 times. I usually don't want to do that. I don't want to be that kind of YouTuber, but with some of these I just don't really have a choice. So I hope you're okay with that. I'm still really excited to tell you about these products, and that is mainly the focus of this video. I'm gonna tell you about products that I'm really excited about, and that I just want to show to you, that really get me hyped for doing my makeup. So that is kind of what I want you to know. So let's get into the products. First up, I think I'm gonna start with bronzers. I have discovered some really nice bronzers this year, and I kind of wanted to narrow it down a little bit more, but I feel like with some of these I haven't really had the chance to tell you how much I like them. So I just want to give them a little bit more of a spotlight in this video. I could have been like, okay, I'm just gonna pick 2 or 3, but I just want to like take this chance in this video to talk about some really nice bronzers because I've been really into bronzers. So first up, I think I've already told you about this one, how much I like this one. This is the Kiko Milano Happy B-Day Belezza Baked Bronzer in 02 Sienna. And this is just such a glowy bronzer, but in such a nice way, not too metallic. It is a bit more lightly pigmented, that's why I got the deeper shade in this one. Usually I take 01, not always, but usually. It is just a very glowy, very summery, very shiny bronzer, but not in a way where it's like super glittery or anything. It just looks very flattering. It is one that you can really build up, and it's one that you can kind of top over other bronzers as well, because it's a bit more light in pigment. But I really like this one. I've used it quite a lot, especially at the start of the year, but when I look at it I still remember how much I liked it. And I also really like the packaging. It's nice and glittery, it's just very like smooth, it has a magnetic closure that I really like, feels very sturdy. So this is actually a really nice bronzer. I am really into it. Then I think my number one powder bronzer product for the year is gonna be the Contour Obsession palette by Kiko Milano. I first bought a deeper shade and I loved the formula. I thought it was so creamy, so blendable. There was just something interesting about the formula that I hadn't seen anywhere else, but it was too deep. So I went and I bought the lighter shade, and since I got the lighter shade, I have been using this so much. Even during my break, even when I wasn't really wearing makeup, I was wearing this one, reaching into this one. I have used this a bunch. I also really like the highlighter, but these two bronzer shades are like so good. There's something so beautiful about the colors, the amount of pigmentation, just the creaminess. I love creaminess in a bronzer. It is just something that I'm really into, and I love that you have a little bit more of a cool tone, a little bit more of a neutral shade. This is also the perfect depth for me, my skin tone. I am like fair to light, neutral cool. I always try to like say that as well in videos like this where I review products, because that tells you a lot about why I like things and what kind of undertones I like. But this is a great palette and I have been using this so much. It's also so easy to travel with. It gives you some options. It gives me two different shades. Sometimes I want to do a bronze that's a little bit more neutral. Sometimes I want to do a bronzer that's a little bit more cool toned. I just mix and match, try everything together, and yeah, it is just a great little palette. Very compact. I really like the packaging. I would highly recommend it. This is a great product. Been going into this one so much. And another one that I think I have been using as much as that one. I think I bought these at the same time and I have been using both of these the most this past year, I think. And they are just both so easy to use. I've also combined them. So this and that palette, they are like my number one when it comes to amount of uses, but also the formulas are amazing. So this is the Sculpting Touch Creamy Stick Contour in 200 from Kiko. And this is a stick contour, but it is pretty neutral in undertone. It doesn't have that like really great undertone. If you're really warm, if your skin is really warm, I wouldn't say that this would work as the perfect bronzer for you. I would be a little bit careful, but it definitely is more of a neutral tone. And this is such an easy bronzer to use. It takes like 2 seconds to blend out. I'm wearing it today. I just draw it on. I just draw it on directly, and then I just take my brush, blend, and just a little bit over there, and I am done. It never looks blotchy. I never apply too much. I can also add a little bit. It really builds well and it just looks amazing. It just has this right amount of pigment. It isn't as perfecting as my absolute tippy top cream bronzer formula, but it is so easy to use and very close to it, and it just looks amazing on the skin. It is so easy to use, and I personally think the ease of use, like this never being an issue, this never being a problem. I can always count on this product. That is the reason why I love this one and why I love this little trio. These are like the most reliable bronzer products that I have in my collection. They are amazing. Then I also have the Kiko Blossoming Beauty Floral Bronzer in 02 Burnt Sienna. Another 02. Have I been into darker bronzers? Maybe. But this is a bronzer that is matte, but in a very like creamy, natural way. Very natural sheen. Blends really easily. It is a bit on the pigmented side, but definitely not too much. It's still easy to blend. I never over apply, but it's a bit more pigmented than, for example, this one that definitely leans more towards the softer but very glowy side. I really like this one. It's a beautiful bronzer. It just has something creamy about it as well. I really like the undertone. It's very nice for like a very like summery look for me because it's a little bit deeper, and I really love the packaging. This Blossoming Beauty collection by Kiko. The packaging was so cute. So I am still like really excited to reach for this, to use this. I didn't really reach for it in like my break period, but I've been going into this again and it's just very cute. Then one that kind of surprised me and I almost didn't put it in, but then I was like, but you like it so much, you've used it so much, why wouldn't you put it in? I feel like this is kind of like a sneaky favorite because I just bought it because it was part of the, what was the collection? The Tropic Exotic collection. I was just like, okay, it's part of the collection, I'm reviewing the collection, I'm gonna buy this bronzer, but it's so big, I'm probably gonna declutter it in the end. I know it's not the best reason to buy something. I'm like trying to better my life, I'm on a low buy, we're trying to do better, but I have been going into this a bunch and it's just a really nice bronzer. I really like the undertone, the pigmentation, the creaminess of it. It just looks very good, I feel, on my skin. I just love this kind of undertone. It's kind of neutral, but in a very specific type of way. I don't even really know how to explain it. When I look at it, sometimes I almost feel like it's more of a yellowy bronzer, like neutral, leaning slightly yellow, more that than it leaning orange. And I feel like those kinds of warm bronzers look better on my skin than very orangey bronzers. And it's just so easy to blend, so easy to use. I've been going into it a bunch. I feel like unconsciously I realized that it looked really good, so I kept going back to it, and then all of a sudden I realized, that's actually a good bronzer. I don't know if I really emphasized that when I did my like roundup review with this one, but I really like it. I don't know if it's still around, but I would recommend it. Then I think the find of the year, the bronzer that absolutely blew me away in every way, is the Revolution Cream Bronzer in Ultra Cream Bronzer Light. There is just something about this bronzer, and I'm happy that more and more people are discovering this. I bought this blind because when I saw this on the website, I just thought there's something about this. The undertone, how creamy it looks. This could be something, and it's really affordable. I don't know how much this actually costs. I think like €6, €8, something like that. But I just had faith in this product and I bought it and I loved it. So what the interesting thing is about this product to me is that it is basically the most perfecting cheek product that I have ever tried. When you apply this, the skin underneath looks so amazing. It's kind of like you don't even really need a foundation or anything anymore. You don't need a concealer. I personally don't wear a lot of concealer, maybe a little bit, and I don't really wear foundation, but this just makes my skin look perfect. And then next to that, it's really easy to blend. It just has a this beautiful amount of pigmentation, and it also has a beautiful undertone. It is like that neutral undertone with more of a yellowy than an actual orangey undertone. And just the creaminess of this, you can see it in the pan. It is just so creamy, but in the exact right way. It is not too slippery, it's not too slidey, it's just very emollient in a juicy, like plump looking way on the cheeks, and then it dries down, it doesn't move around, and I feel like every time I use this bronzer my makeup looks so good. I feel like with these other bronzers, they are not the star of a look. When I apply them, they are beautiful bronzers. I think they are amazing, they look amazing. But when I apply this one, the focus for me goes toward the bronziness, towards the cheeks, how perfect and bronzy they look. I can see right away when I have used this instead of another bronzer in a look. It is just so good. This is just, for me, a step up. This is just the best one. This is just the best cream bronzer. I hope I kind of explained it well, but it is just so good. It's just, there's just something extra special about this one. Okay, let's move on to highlighters. And I am gonna start with some highlighters that I've actually used a bunch this year, and that is the Kiko Milano Ultimate Glow highlighters. So we have the standard Kiko Milano packaging. This is in their standard line, not limited edition. But these highlighters are like the most stunning baked gelée formula. So shiny, so smooth, really blends into the skin. This is a gorgeous kind of yellowy tone, like a yellowy tone a little bit golden undertone highlighter. I think this is a stunning shade. Very interesting, very different, very hard to come by. And this is the first one that I tried and I loved it so much. I loved how it looked on the skin that I also got another shade. I got the shade 02 as well. And this is kind of like a salmon pink. And I think both of these look amazing on the skin. You can apply them a little bit more naturally. You can apply them more blinding. And they just blend in beautifully with everything else that you have going on the face. So these I would highly, highly recommend. Like Kiko and Milano, they came out with some pretty interesting things in their permanent range that I was really impressed by. Then another favorite that kind of snuck up on me is the Essence Jurassic World highlighter. When I reviewed this, I was not like, wow, this is the best highlighter ever. And I did not think that I was going to use it this much, but I have been going into this a lot. And there's just something about the shade. It's kind of like a nude, but it has a peachy pink undertone, but in a very nude way, which makes it very wearable. It goes with everything. It really blends into the skin beautifully once again. And I think this shade, it just really spoke to me and I just felt like it went with every look. And I've just been really using this one a bunch. So I thought that this deserved a mention in this video. It is just a very nice highlighter and a shade that I don't really see anywhere else. So that I haven't really seen, at least in my collection. It's really different for my collection. Then I have two like cushion highlighters, Beauty Lightwand kind of products. First up, I tried the Pillow Talk Beauty Lightwand Easy Highlighter by Charlotte Tilbury. And this is kind of like a mauve champagne shade. And this is my favorite, I think, of the Beauty Light ones that I have. I only have two, but I mean really like the Charlotte Tilbury ones, not the Kiko ones. Just of the Charlotte Tilbury ones, this is my favorite because this is very easy to use, in my opinion, very easy to blend out. I think it's a really, really beautiful shade. It is, you can kind of see it over there. It's kind of like nude, but also kind of mauve. And I feel like it goes with so many looks. Every time I use this, I'm like, my highlight looks amazing. And I just wanted to share how I blend this out, because the reason that I've used it a bunch is because I found a way I really like to blend it out. And that is with the Lunar Beauty LBF6. This is the highlighter brush. I just take a little bit of this and dot it on, and then I actually blend it out with this Lunar Beauty brush, and it always looks amazing, very nice and blended. I had a bit of difficulty like figuring out how I wanted to wear this highlighter, how I wanted to apply this highlighter, but I feel like with that brush it's just very easy. And then another one, the Festival Glow Golden Star Cushion Highlighter by Kiko Milano in the shade 02. This is really like a bright golden peach, a very interesting shade. It is very like vibrant, very orangey peach almost, but because it has this golden flip, it still looks natural. This is such a beautiful shade. Once again, I really like applying it with that highlighter brush. This is such a unique shade. I really love it. I really loved it, especially in the summer. I think it is a beautiful summery highlighter. And it is just a shade. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to find a highlighter that is a bit more unique but still wearable. And I feel like these were very unique, beautiful shades. And I really, really love those. I think they are amazing. And then I have an honorable mention. So the highlighter that I'm wearing today, I just wanted to say something about it because I'm not going to do a dedicated video. I don't know if I really get the chance to tell you about this one before it is out of stock, out of the stores. So this is the Essence Cookies for Santa highlighter, and it smells a little bit like cookies, like slightly, very faintly sweet. But this is such a stunning kind of shimmery highlighter, but not in a chunky way, a very sophisticated shimmery highlighter that is quite blinding but still like blends beautifully on the skin. I just love the way this looks. I cannot say yet that this is an absolute favorite, but I'm really excited about it, and I just wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you how it looked like. I just wanted to tell you that that is this one, and that if you think that this is a cute looking highlighter, I like the packaging is so cute. I think this is a nice one to pick up because it's really affordable and it just looks amazing on the skin. I've worn it a few times already and I'm really into it. Just wanted to say that. And then I think this is the last one for the highlighters. So the Catrice Fall in Colors face palette. I just have to mention this one, and then I'm especially talking about these three highlighters. These highlighters are very creamy, very shiny, beautiful shades, blend in the skin beautifully. There is something about them, they almost look on the skin like a Super Shock highlighter, but they are not. They are a baked like powder highlighter, but there's just something very creamy about it. And I love creamy powder products, and I've just been using this one so much. I've really been into it, going into it. I think this is a great face palette, and I think it is still available, so I wanted to mention it. I think this is super cute. Love the formulas in here. The bronzer is a little bit warmer on my skin than it looks in the pan, but I think everything in here and just the whole packaging, the whole vibe is really great, really amazing. So this face palette is definitely a fave. Okay, let's move on to blushes. First up, I have the Velvet Touch Creamy Stick Blush by Kiko. I think this formula is just amazing. It's so easy to apply, so easy to blend. This is also a shiny, like nude with a golden glow to it. I think this is a great formula. Kiko with their stick cream products are really onto something. It's just so easy to use, so easy to travel with. It just is such a convenient product to grab for. So I am really into this one. And I think even maybe if I got a shade that's a little bit like brighter, because it's a little bit like soft and nude for my liking, even though I really like the look of it. I don't use like very soft nude blushes as much as some brighter blushes. So if I feel like if I got a shade that's even a little bit brighter, a little bit more out there, I would love it even more. But this one I already really love, and I just wanted to let you know, check out the cream stick products by Kiko because they are amazing. Then I think my favorite blush formula I discovered this year is the Clinique Cheek Pop Pearls. These are such beautiful shiny cheek products, and I got the shade Coral Pop first. This is a very warm coral shade, like almost orange, very close to it, a very yellow undertone, but I feel like it blends in the skin very beautifully and it looks very natural. It's just a very beautiful sheen, and just the amount of pigmentation makes it very easy to use. I really love these two shades that I have. I also have the one in Ruby Pop, which is a little bit more like red in undertone, but in a way that is also very wearable, very poppy, very fresh looking on the cheeks. I am really into these. They are some of my favorite blushes in my collection, and I've actually used them a lot. But with these I can say that I have used them a bunch. Then what I am wearing today is the Kiko Milano Sweet Affairs blush duo in Ruby Cacao, and this is a blush duo that has a matte or satin cool tone pink shade that is very light looking in the pan, and then a glowy blush on the other side. I think this is such an interesting duo because we have these different formulas, and the undertones of them are also a little bit different, and the pigmentation of them is also a little bit different. So you can do quite a lot with this. This is definitely a little bit softer. It still shows up on the skin, but when you apply the shimmery one on top, it really pops, it's really glowy, and it becomes much brighter. So I put this one on top, and you can definitely see my blush is quite bright. And I just love the combination of these two. I love the shades. I love how it is light pink, but still really shows up. And it just, I think it's a really cute packaging as well. But yeah, what really makes this my favorite is just the two formulas, how they work together, and just the glowiness that you can get out of it. And it's just a shade that is a little bit out of my comfort zone, or it was a little bit out of my comfort zone. I wasn't really wearing light pink blushes. I thought they wouldn't show up on me, but this is really a nice way for me to wear it. I feel like it really works for me, so I'm really excited about this one, really excited to wear it again today. I think this is amazing. I don't know if it's still available, but yeah, the pink duo, that was a good one. Then we have the LYS Cream Blushes, the Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush. I have the one in Inspire. This is the kind of like dark burnt orangey coral one. I really like this one. This is my favorite shade. I also have this shade Confident, and this is more of a mauve shade, also kind of warm in undertone, a little bit less warm. These are very easy to use, very easy to blend, beautiful amount of pigmentation. They don't have any shimmer in them, but they just look very creamy and glowy. I think these are great products. I really like the shades that I have. I've been going into them quite a bunch. They're just very easy cream products. Like, you don't really have to think about it. You can apply it on top of other things, can apply it on top of cream or powder bronzer, whatever you like. So I've really been into those, and they are like my favorite like pot cream blush formula. I think these are really, really nice. Then we have the Kiko Milano Happy B-Day Belezza Big Blush in 03 on Mauve Mint. So this is a mauve, very glowy blush. Very similar in formula to that bronzer. Just very glowy, not extremely pigmented, but very easy to use. You can still build it up. It's very blendable. But with these two, like these from the Happy B-Day Belezza collection, it's really about the glow. There's enough pigment for it not to just be like a glowy highlighter type product and you're like, is this even a blush? There is enough pigment in there, but definitely it's all about the glow. It's a very glowy product and I really loved it. And I have used the bronzer and this blush together a lot. And then lastly, for the blush product, I have the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism Blush Palette here. The other blush palette by Lunar Beauty I also think is beautiful. It's also a favorite, but I think this is the one that really stood out to me this year. It is just, the packaging is amazing, it's beautiful, it is stunning, and the shades in here, there's just something about it that makes me really excited. I just love the softness of this side, and then these pops, these two pops that we have here. The favorite of these two pops is definitely Blaze for me, because I feel like it's really easy to blend out with a shade like Beauty. I think this is such a cute palette, a beautiful formula. We have one kind of like golden nude blush that's more glowy, can mix it in with the other shades. I have gone into this a bunch. This Pink Prince shade I think is gorgeous, like very nudie lilac, which I'm really into. I feel like it looks really natural when applied to the cheeks. I think this is a great blush palette, great shade selection. I've been really excited about this, and I think I wore this like yesterday. I do really think about this one. I think like, I want to use that palette again. So yeah, I've really been going into this. So I feel like this year has actually kind of been the year of lip products, like really amazing lip products. Also bronzers. I've been really into bronzers, but lip products, I've really discovered some amazing formulas. For example, firstly, the Makeup by Mario glosses I have really been into, and these have really gotten me into lip gloss and into wearing lip gloss on top of another lip product. Before these, I did not really understand that. Before this, I was like, why would you do that? Just slips and slides, moves around, it doesn't stay. Why would you go through all the trouble? I think people only do it to have it on like for 10 minutes for a video. Then I used this and it just stayed put. It looked amazing. It felt amazing. I was really excited. This is the one in Rose Nude. This one is my favorite. I have all three of the shades, but this is my absolute favorite. I've used this so many times on top of other lip products, and I just think it just adds a beautiful amount of dimension. It looks amazing. I'm just really excited every time that I put this on. And this really made me get into some other lip formulas as well. I've been really getting into the Ninja lip glosses as well. I think these smell amazing. They smell so good, like very sweet and like bakery goods, like caramel. I don't know what it is, but I think this is a great formula as well. They work very well on top of things, on top of lip products, but they also work very well on their own. This shade Pinky Promise, I've worn on its own a bunch of times. It is not a sticky formula, but it stays on quite long for a lip gloss. It's not too thick, not too thin. It feels very like comfortable, very juicy, very hydrating, which I really enjoy. So I really like the Nimia lip glosses. I haven't really heard anyone talk about these, but they're really, really good. And the Nimia lip balm, by the way, the 24/7 365 lip balm is my new favorite lip balm. It also smells so good, like so yummy. Not like I actually want to eat it, but it smells so good every time that I apply it. And it just hydrates my lips so well. It is so nice. I applied like multiple times a day and I feel like it has come down significantly. And since I got this one, I haven't really been reaching for the, what's it called? The grapefruit lip mask that I always used to use. That was the only thing that kept my lips hydrated during the winter. I kind of moved away from that. I'm basically just using this because it's so nice and hydrating, and it's just the perfect experience when applying this because it smells so good. Then I also really got into lip products by Many MUA, by Lunar Beauty. I've really gotten into Lunar Beauty. This was the year that I tried them for the first time and I bought so many lip products. I am just so into them. So one of the things I've been really into and I've worn a lot is the Lunar Beauty lip oils. And this is the one in Kiss Me. I have all the shades of the original launch that didn't have much color in them. I don't have the shades of the new launch. This is shade Kiss Me. I believe this one was the strawberry one. These smell amazing, very much like fruit, very sweet, very nice. They are so shiny and they make your lips feel amazing. I wear these all the time as well. If I don't know what lip to wear, if I feel like, okay, I just did my makeup but I'm gonna eat soon, or for whatever reason I don't really feel like applying an actual pigmented lipstick, I always reach for something like this. What I also really, really love is the lip glosses by Lunar Beauty. I don't feel like the formulas are very, very different. These are also very comfortable to wear, very nice, very hydrating. They do feel more like a lip gloss, like a traditional lip gloss, but they are so like nice and kind of like plushy and not sticky, and they almost feel like I don't know how to describe it. These two formulas are both amazing. They both are not sticky. They both are very shiny. The differences between these I feel are very slight, but this just has something slightly oilier to it. But I love these both. Like, both of these formulas are so good. And then lastly we have the liquid lipstick formula by Lunar Beauty, and this is such an amazing liquid lip formula. I feel like I really missed out on this because this lip formula, it doesn't fully dry down. There's something about it, it stays a little bit emollient, it stays a little bit like satiny on the lips, but because of that it just feels very like hydrating. It feels very comfortable throughout the day and it still stays put. It's not like it will transfer on your glass, it will transfer when you eat, but it stays put and it just stays very comfortable. And the shades are amazing. It looks so like flattering on the lips, not drying at all. It's very close to like a Colourpop satin lip that they used to have but discontinued for some reason, very close to that. I feel like this is one of the best dupes for that formula. It's not the exact same, but it gives the same effect. It just makes your lips look so good and I love it. Then we also have the Unearthly Cosmetics or Alien Cosmetics Matte Liquid Lips. These are also very comfortable. They also make your lips look very good, but they are more of a dry down formula, so they can be a little slightly bit more drying than the Lunar Beauty ones. Still not drying, I still not experience it like that, but it is a dry down formula. But for a dry down formula, this is the most comfortable, or basically the most comfortable I have come across. So I really like these. I did a video lip swatching all of these and I only decluttered one, I think, that I knew that I wasn't gonna wear. But all of the other shades I thought looked amazing. I was such a fan. So these are so good. Definitely worth checking out. Then the lipstick that I am wearing right now is the Sweet Affairs Sweet Kiss Lip Stylo in 01. This is kind of like a cool tone nude shade. I've talked about this before. It is so long wearing but so comfortable. It doesn't look like flat matte and it does transfer a little bit, but it just stays on the lips. Like, it transfers a little bit, but then at the end of the day it still looks beautiful, it still looks good. It just wears off in such a flattering way. And I also think just the satin way it looks and the color itself, I think it looks amazing. I think this is a great lipstick. I also really like the packaging. It has like a magnetic closure. It is quite nice and weighty, a little bit fingerprinty, but I think all in all this is a great lipstick. And I was really sad that there was only one shade of this line that I liked. The other ones were like a red and a purple, not really shades that I would wear a lot, but I love this particular one. I think it looks so good on the lips. Then the last lipstick formula that I really love this year is the Sweet Affairs Sweet Kiss Dual Liquid Lip Color. I have 3 shades of these in my collection, but I took 2 out of my drawer for this video. So here I have shade 03, which is really like a burnt, very burnt, kind of red, almost red shade. I feel like it looks a little bit more red in the viewfinder than it looks here in front of me. It's kind of like a very dark burnt shade. And this is just such a great formula because we have a matte liquid lip and then we have kind of like a balm that isn't extremely shiny. It's not like a gloss, it's really like a balm. And when you apply the matte liquid lip on its own, it is already so nice and comfortable. It looks amazing on the lips, very flattering. But then when you apply the balm on top, it just adds this slight plumpness. It still stays on, it's still long wearing, but it's just a little bit more plump and it just makes them look very nice and satin. So either way, however you wear this is a very comfortable long wearing product. Beautiful shades. I feel like most of the shades are sold out by now. I think I checked it like a week or so ago, checked it in the sale by Kiko, but I feel like most of these are sold out right now. But this is a great lip formula. That's why I bought 3 shades in the end. It just looks so good. It just makes your lips look amazing. It feels amazing, stays on forever. This is the perfect combination of attributes. It's just amazing. The lip products that they did for this particular collection, they did something right with this. I love them. This year I also discovered some lip liners that I really like. The Creamy Color Comfort Lip Liner by Kiko Milano is very nice. It's very affordable, but it's just great quality. It's not too slippery. It's pigmented enough, but not too pigmented. It's just easy, just really easy to apply. It stays on long. I don't have any complaints about this. It's just a very nice, reliable lip liner. It's just very good. And the same goes for these NYX Line Loud lip pencils. I bought 3 of these, but I have 2 of the shades here. I have this kind of like berry shade that is called Goal Getter, and then I have this very cool tone, kind of contour shade that I'm wearing today. This one is a shade Global Citizen. I use this one a lot. This is my favorite because it's very like contour your lips, that kind of shade, and I feel like because of that it goes with a lot of lip looks. This once again is a very comfortable, very long wearing, very easy to apply formula. Not too creamy, but creamy enough. It has enough pigment, but not too much that you feel like it goes everywhere. Like these, they're very similar. They're very similar, these formulas, and I like both of these and I would recommend them and say if you're looking for an affordable lip liner, check these out. They're very nice. Then I have some random products for me at least, because these are not type of products that I try a lot from, but I have found some nice ones. So the Maybelline Express Brow Fast Sculpt Mascara is what I've been using for the past few months. Every day, every time that I've done my brows, I've used this and I think it is amazing. It has a very precise brush where you have one side that has shorter hairs and one side that has longer hairs. And it just makes it very easy to apply. It's such a beautiful amount of pigmentation. It's very like long holding. It really holds the lashes up. It makes them not fall down. When I look at my lashes at the end of the day, I don't feel like they went everywhere. I feel like I can use this on its own. I don't need to use a brow pencil, but usually for filming I will use a brow pencil, but for just the running out the door, going to work, whatever, I'll usually use this on its own and I think it looks really nice. It just has the right amount of everything, of pigmentation. I can be really precise with it. It's a beautiful brow product, a beautiful brow gel. I bought this because I forgot my brow gel at my mom's house and then I was like, you know what, I've tried some Maybelline brow gels that I quite liked. I was in the drugstore, I was like, okay, I will try it, and then it was my new favorite. I really like it. I hope it's gonna be around for a while because I think I'm gonna repurchase this. I'm pretty sure that that is gonna happen. Then the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. I always use this when I do my eyeshadow to just clean up under my eyes a little bit. It's very easy to apply. It has nice packaging that gives you the right amount of product. Usually, a lot of the times with these clicky pens, I feel like you get too much too fast, but this is pretty good. It blends out easily. I really like the shade. I have this shade. I feel like I have number 3 or something like that. I don't see it. Light 23C. That sounds about right. So I usually feel like I have to take the lightest shade in things, and I was planning to buy this online and just get the lightest shade, but then I was in store and I got like the 3rd or 4th shade, and this is my perfect shade. It is a great color for me, like the cool undertone really works for me. I'm glad that I looked at it in store though. I would maybe recommend doing that. I think this is a very nice product. I really like it. I have no complaints whatsoever about it. It always looks good. I always use a little bit though. Keep that in mind. I don't pile this on. I just take a little bit and I really like how it looks. So this is a great one. I really like it. I think I'm probably gonna repurchase that one as well. I can see myself doing that. It depends on how long I can go with that one. Then I actually have a spray favorite. This one is one where you shake and it's like a little bit glowy. It kind of mixes in the glowy particles and then you spray it. So this is a Catrice Caviar Gouge spray, and I usually am not that much of a spray person, but I kind of got into it because of masks. But then I was like, wow, this is actually a really good spray. It makes your makeup really blend into each other. It really makes it last longer. It makes your whole skin look very nice and glowy. And it just has a nice sprayer. It's good quality sprayer that doesn't leave any droplets on your face. It is just very beautiful, very nice. I have nothing bad to say about it. It just looks good. It's nice to apply. It's a nice thing to apply. And I just like what it does with the makeup. It just makes everything so seamless and make everything kind of more part of your skin. So I'm really into it. I actually bought a backup because this is a limited edition, but this is a great spray. This is the best spray that I personally have tried in my makeup life. I haven't tried a lot of sprays, but this definitely is a good one. I really like it. I actually have some nail polish to show you and also some perfumes. So my new favorite nail polish brand and one of my new favorites when it comes to like makeup and beauty is Holo Taco. So Holo Taco is the nail polish brand by Simply Nailogical. I believe she's called Christine. I never really watched her channel. I didn't really know her, so I wasn't really like quick to like look at her stuff and realize that her stuff was available to me and pretty easy to get. But then they came out with this dark rainbow collection. I thought it looked amazing, and my sister and I decided to buy some together to just see how we liked it. And we fell in love. We both fell in love. I really fell in love. I only wear Holo Taco nail polishes at the moment. I have worn so many different Holo Taco nail polishes by now. I just think these look amazing on the nails. So easy to apply. They dry so fast. They stay on long, and it is just next level. The glow, the shine, the hollowness, it just looks so good, and there's just nothing compares to this. To me, when it comes to like nail polish, nothing is as good as this. It's like you can't even really go wrong with it. It always looks good. So I'm a big fan of this brand, and I think I'm really excited to see what else they do, what other collections they will come out with. I feel like the shipping isn't too bad, especially if I can kind of like share it with my sister. Yeah, I'm a big fan, so I wanted to mention that one. And then I have two perfumes that I've really been a fan of this year. First up, the Kiko Milano Sweet Affairs Melting in Love scent. This is such a good perfume. It smells heavenly. So good, so sweet, but in a very just, I don't know, sophisticated way. It smells kind of like chocolatey, but also kind of like bakery, but not like you can really pinpoint what it is. It just smells very gourmand in such a nice way, and I didn't even know that I like these types of scents. Then I sprayed it a little bit on like a tester in the Kiko store. I took the tester home, like the little card where I sprayed it on, not the actual tester. I did not steal the tester. Okay. I took the card home. I kept like getting a whiff of it and being like, wow, that smells amazing. And then I bought it and I'm so happy with it. I've worn it actually quite a lot this year. You just need a little bit. It's a pretty strong perfume. That's why I only use this much, because you only need like the tiniest bit. But this is a great perfume, and the next time Kiko comes out with a perfume, I'm definitely gonna go and smell it, because this was one amazing perfume, one of my faves in my collection. Then with this one, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, because I feel like I bought it like end of 2021, but I only really opened it and started using it I think this year, and I've really been into it. So what kind of happened with me in this perfume is I realized that I had to spray more, because I can be really like too careful sometimes with perfume, that I only do like 2 or 3 sprays. And when I do that with this one, I don't really smell it. I don't really smell it enough, and it's just a bit too subtle. So when I sprayed it like the double amount of what I would usually do, it smells amazing. So since I found out that I have to spray more, I've been using this almost daily. So this is the Marc Jacobs Daisy Love Spring. Such a beautiful scent. I think it is still available. One of my faves in my collection. It has like fig notes in it, and it just smells really good. Very like sweet, very like fruit, like slightly floral, but not too floral. I think this is a great perfume. Really, really nice. All right, we have gotten to eyeshadow palettes, and this is the part where I really, really have to tell you, take it with a grain of salt. I have not worn a lot of eyeshadow this past year, to be honest, and with a lot of these I have not gotten the chance to use it as much as you should use a favorite, but I am just very excited about the palettes that I have here. Also, there are a few palettes that came into my life like this past month that I have to be honest, I actually haven't used enough to put it in a favorites video. But because I'm just so excited about them, I am gonna do it anyway. I just really want to show them in this video. I just have a lot of faith and that these are gonna be like some of my most used palettes in the coming months. But I've just been doing my absolute best to catch up. I wasn't fast enough, and I couldn't postpone all my wrap-up videos to the very end of December. It would get very messy. It would get very stressful. So I decided to just show you the palettes that get me most excited when I look back at this past year. Some of these I have used a lot, but some of these I have not used a lot, to be completely honest. So first up we have the Hella palette by Angelica Nyqvist and Oden's Eye. I've used this quite a bit, especially for the more green and yellow tones in here. Love the looks that I did with that, but I feel like I definitely could have used it more. But it's just such an interesting color story. For me personally, it really got me out of my comfort zone in a very nice way. I just love the top rows here. But I also think this double-sided, like multi-chrome kind of shade is really, really nice. The pinks in here are also very cute. I love just this combination of shades and this very springy vibe that I get from it. To me, it's just a very cute color story. It didn't feel as life-changing as the Club Nebula palette. That was like the most shocking, the most amazing thing that ever happened in the makeup industry. But it is a very good palette. I really like the color story. I think Angelica did a great job with this one. Then we have the Dragon Fruit palette from Cliona Cosmetics and Emily Violet Marie. And this palette as a whole, it's a bit of an interesting palette because it doesn't have any mattes in it. I love the packaging, by the way. It's very cute. I love the way they did that. We don't have any mattes, but all of the shades that I tried from this palette I really liked. The looks that I did I really liked. There are some beautiful multi-chrome sparkly shades in here. I think it's a great palette. It's a bit outside of my comfort zone because it doesn't have any mattes, but I do love the more satiny shades we have in here. I think this is a great palette, and the reason that I put it in this video is because it just makes me like super excited to use it. I just feel very excited when I look at it. It's just a bit different. It's just a bit out there. It just challenges me a little bit in a very nice way. So to me, it's definitely one of the like most exciting palettes that has come out this past year. Then I think this is my #1 most used palette this past year because it is just beautiful quality, Beautiful colors, beautiful packaging. It is just so easy to use. This is the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism eyeshadow palette, and it just, for someone who didn't wear a lot of makeup, who just wanted something simple most of the time, or just something matte, didn't really want to think about what she put on her eyes, this is a great palette because we have beautiful shimmers, but everything, they go with everything. And then we have some really nice mattes that are just very easy to use, very blendable, very buildable, and just in a way very basic, but in a way you can also go some different routes. You can make it a little bit more like berry, a little bit more warm and apricot. We have some different shades here. We have some variety here, but it never becomes like super complicated. It's always an easy thing to grab for, and so I have used this a lot. The shimmer formula in here is different than his former palettes, and I think the shimmer formula is amazing. It's so creamy, so shiny, so pigmented. It just has this mirror-like finish to it that makes the shimmers so beautiful and amazing. I am a big fan of this palette, and yeah, I've really been going into it, and I'm still excited to use it. I have no complaints about it. It is great. I think he did a great job, and if you're a neutral lover, this is a great one. But even if you like a little bit more like out there looks, you do have the option to go a little bit more smoky, to like add that contrast. It definitely is here. And if you go for this Bloom For You shade and this Cherry Blossom shade and maybe this Milk Tea a little bit, you can get quite a berry look, and I think it's a very beautiful, very cool palette. This one is just, it's amazing. I really love it. Then one palette that I have been raving about a little bit is the Catrice Fallen Colors eyeshadow palette. This has beautiful packaging to start with, but the actual color story and colors in here and the formulas are really nice. We have quite some different shades in here. You can get some contrast. We have some light shades, some deep shades, but the thing that really stole my heart when it comes to this palette is the very shiny shimmery shades. This shade, and this shade are very sparkly. They really elevate the look. And then these deeper mattes, they are very beautiful, blendable, like buildable, so beautiful. So you can get a bunch of different really nice, really like high quality looks out of this. I think this is the best palette by Catrice that I've tried. I'm a big fan. I don't think that Catrice palettes have ever really made it into my favorites, but this one deserves a place because everything just works. I really like the fall inspired color story and the packaging, but the quality is also just on point. And if you really build a look around the smoky shades and the sparkles, you can get something really beautiful. And I am really into this palette. Highly recommend it. Alright, here come the palettes that I actually have not used enough to put in my favorites, that are just a little bit too new in my collection to put in my favorites, but the looks that I've done with them so far were so like nice and special and just impressed me so much that I do want to show them in this video. But I think it's just a little bit too early to really say that these are my favorites. It's just a little bit too early for me to review them still. Yeah, but I'm just gonna show them. Alright, so first up we have the Gloss Gods New Neutrals and Vintage Glam remixed eyeshadow palettes. I did a video with these and I tried my best to do some more looks with these after, but I feel like with a new brand I really have to dig in, really have to go for it and try all of the shades really thoroughly. So I feel like I need some more time, but what I've tried so far I've really loved. I think the mattes are really nice and blendable, buildable. I've had no problems with them in these palettes. These shimmers, we have so many different textures. We have some multi-chromes, we have some really sparkly shades. And the thing that I really love about this particular palette is that some of these lean green. So we have warm neutrals, neutral neutrals, and then some greens. We have this Never Shy shade. This is kind of like a multi-chrome with gold and green, and I think it looks so good on the eyes. So far, I really love this palette. So impressed, especially with the shimmer formula. The shimmer formula is top notch, amazing, but I also like the mattes in here. I don't really have any complaints about those, but the shimmers, they really take the look to a whole other level. Then the Vintage Glam is what I am wearing today. I went for quite a purple look with vintage Vamp Forget Me Not on the stories. Beautiful Past is quite a deep, like purplish shade. I also used Epic Love Story. I used Vintage Hero. And you can see it just looks so nice and bright. Like this, oh, the story shade is so bright and so impactful. I really love the look that I did today. It's just so cool. I really like this palette so far. I'm really impressed. And I can't wait to try more and more by this brand. I feel like they deserve way more hype. I don't hear enough about them. And I am planning to try them a bit more this coming year. I really hope they're gonna come out with some interesting things. And then the last thing that I have to show you is the Christmas Eve eyeshadow palette by Oden's Eye. I got it pretty late because I got it on the pre-order, the last pre-order that they had before they discontinued this. And I have been doing my best to do some different looks, and I have complete faith that everything in here is gonna work beautifully. The things that I haven't tried yet, I'm sure are gonna work beautifully. But I cannot say that's my absolute favorite before I've used everything, I think. At least, that is like the minimum. But I love the color story so much. The looks that I have done so far, I love so much. I just feel so inspired. This combination of shades, it's like, it's not neutral, but there's something kind of toned down about it that makes it really interesting for someone who loves neutrals but wants to like step outside of the comfort zone a little bit as well. I really like the blues in here. I really like the yellow tones, the cool tones. This green I think is a really interesting one. I just love this combination of shades. I think is very inspiring. And yeah, the different colors, the different shimmers, and just the whole vibe and packaging. I think this looks amazing. I am very excited about this eyeshadow palette, and I just want to use it a bunch more. I think it's also a very nice eyeshadow palette for like New Year's Eve. It really makes me think of that as well. So yeah, I think that this looks amazing. You can't get it anymore, so I can't really recommend it to you anymore if you haven't bought it yet. But keep an eye on Oden's Eye. That is a message of a lot of my favorites videos, because I just really love Oden's Eye. This is a great eyeshadow palette so far. So that is actually gonna be everything for this video. These are, I think, all my favorites. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. But yeah, oh well, it happens sometimes. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and then don't forget to subscribe. And let me know what your absolute favorite makeup product of the year was. And then I will see you in my next video.